Hello, Aspirants. I'm Indumati Karthikeyan from Inkara IAS Academy. Today we are going to see about the 5th December current affairs. The topic taken from the Delhi edition. The topic is cash transfer schemes for the women as new poll plank. That is a topic which is discussed for the cash transfer. That is a DBT schemes. So there is a many more important things in this schemes. This topic is comes under the GS2 welfare schemes for the vulnerable section of the population by the center and the state. Why it is in the news? First of all, there is a Maharashtra Jharkhand Assembly election. There was a pattern that followed that having a cash transfer scheme for women. That is a center political campaigning beginning the August. So the National Democratic Alliance government in Maharashtra came up with a Mukhyamantri Magji Ladki Bahin Yojana. This Yojana that carried that women will receive 1,500 per month in their other linked bank accounts. The same jargon also had the same scheme which is transfer 1,000 rupees for the eligible women. So this direct transfers are no political novelty. According to the Axis Bank, there are already 14 states having this kind of schemes. So totally one fifth of the India's adult female population. So it is covered. So the cash transfer schemes for women are growing popularity in this policy, learning the state government experiencing a fear of missing out or we getting a point where there is an alternative vision about welfare. So for particularly there is a scheme which is announced by the government. So the cash transfer schemes targeting women have emerged as a popular political strategy in recent election across India. These programs aimed at directly providing financial assistance to women are being positioned as a tool of the economic empowerment and also a way to address the gender inequality that also serve as a significant voter outreach mechanism. So first of all, that is there is a this way it's not good for that. So these are having some political significance. That is a women. Its turnout in election as being rising sometimes as outpacing men. Political parties recognize the growing role in shaping electoral outcomes and also targeting the vulnerable groups. So these schemes often focus on the marginalized women such as those in the rural areas and or the low income groups, making them key beneficiary, and also they can alignment with the welfare narratives. That is a DPT or increasingly seen as a significant, efficient and transparent way to deliver the welfare and also the electorate. That is a many pros and cons behind these economic and social impacts behind the schemes. That is a pros enhance women's financial independence and household spending capacity, can improve education, healthcare access, and also the nutrition at the household. And also, this give the safety net for the vulnerable families. The cons are also there in this part. That is a sustainability concern due to the high fiscal burden. Cities argue that these schemes may address symptoms rather than the structural issue like employment and also the educational gap. So we should not focus on the education and employment. This is a burning problem in these DBT schemes, and also there is some more challenges in this scheme. That is a implementation. That is a ensuring accurate identification of beneficiary to avoid exclusion or leakages, and also we need the dependency rates. That is a excessive relative or cash transfer without addressing the broader economic, social, economic reforms. So, cash transfer schemes for women are likely to remain a central theme in Indian politics, especially in the run of general elections. And also, these schemes only appeal to women voters but also reflect broader policy shifts towards the gender sensitive governance. So these are the important pros and cons. But already we are having so many schemes that is focused on cash transfer. That is the recent schemes or first and foremost is the Tamil Nadu DMK's Kalanger Mahal Urimai Toge. That is a launched in 2023. That scheme offers 1,000 rupees monthly to women heads of family. It is positioned to measure to provide a financial independence to women and also support the household expenses. And also Madhya Pradesh, that BJP's government having Ladli Behna Yojana, this announced in 2023 election. So they are providing the 250 for the women in the age group of 20 to 30, particularly targeting the economically weaker section, and also aim to improve the quality of life on enhancing the women participation in the household decision making. And also there's a West Bengal, that is Trinamool Congress, that is Lakshmi Bandar, offer 500 to 100 rupees per month a women from general and marginalized community, one of the key components of the government. So next, the final one is a Rajasthan Congress, Indira Gandhi Nari Shakti Yojana, that's recently it was introduced, that cash support for to the economically weaker section of the women, so emphasizing the gender inclusive in the welfare of the society. So these are the current important schemes which were provided, and also there is a many key features in this, that is direct fund transfer payments or directly transferred to the beneficiary bank accounts, to eliminating the intermediaries. So it's one of the good thing in the DBT. And also there is a other integration, linking other India's unique identification number with bank account helps verify and also identify the reduce the fraudulent transaction. And also the scope also very much wider. This is schemes including subsidies, fertilizers, pensions, scholarships, and the MGN Riga, that is a Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Guarantee Schemes, wages. So everything will be done by the DPT, will be definitely reduce the intermediaries and also reduce the corruptions and also give the transparent working mechanism of the governance. And also there is a real-time monitoring, that is utilizes technology to track, monitor the fund disbursement, it happened or not. And so these are giving the major benefits, but there is a some major benefits to the DPT is absolutely reduction of the leakage, that is a reduction and cut down the corruption and also mismanagement by removing the intermediaries. And also there is an efficient one and faster, more accurate one. These give the very much transparency because the digital system ensure accountability in the transactions, and also we give the targeted delivery services. The other integration ensures the only eligible beneficiary receive the benefits. But there is an example in that, that is a PAHAL, that Pratyaksha Astaran Lab, that is a direct transfer LPG subsidy to the consumer accounts. And also Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, which the wages are paid through the bank accounts, and also the scholarship schemes also paid through the education for the student schemes. And also there is a PM Kisan, that income support for the farmer 6,000 annually in 3 installments. There's a challenge behind that. That the challenges was first of all, and yeah, that is a digital divide. That is a beneficiary in the remote areas, hilly areas, and also in the rural areas. So there is a lack of access of banking and digital infrastructure. Another one more problem is other related issues. That is a error in linking the authentication can exclude the genuine beneficiaries. The Another problem is the banking network. Limited availability of bank branches in the rural area can hinder these fund accesses. So these are the main major challenges in the DBTs. So when we need to improve the transparency and good governance, first of all, we must improve the social welfare of the people. So we should ensure the timely and accurate delivery of the subsidies to the benefits and also cost savings to reduce the administration cost and curb the corruptions. And also we need the economic inclusion, that is promote the integrating more individual into the bank system, that will definitely reduce the corruption intermediaries and also provide the transparency. Thank you so much.